not take away the things that we have developed to recognize ourselves in order for us to be segregated. And I don't think that that's a good answer either. One of my questions come into play is, did you come and step on this, Jada, because now your son is modeling female clothes for a white corporation that you don't seem to have a problem with, and so are you trying to take the light off of that? I don't know. I can't answer that for sure. But again, I don't think that you're going to pull too much backing for that, because I don't think that you bring it on solid ground. And
so you're saying that although she may have valid points, because I also said that I thought she had valid points.
Yeah, she does.
But it's built on a foundation that's self-serving.
I believe that, yes.
And because it's self-serving, it loses some of its strength of what she's trying to say.
Correct. Okay. Because, think back to when Denzel Washington portrayed Malcolm X.
I was so upset.
And didn't get it. But when he portrayed a dirty cop, he got an Oscar. Halle Berry, she's done some great roles, but when she decided to sleep with a trailer park trash individual, sorry, Billy Bob, but she got an award.
And I love Billy Bob.
I do too. He's hilarious. But my point is that there's so many other times that we could have used to boycott the Oscars on, but then you choose this particular moment when your husband didn't get the nods that I can only say that you feel that, and probably him, feel like he should have gotten. And it's just, I don't think you're going to get a lot of the backings that you're hoping for.
So, here's a question.
Yes.
Because you made a good point. So, you're saying about the roles that have won Oscars, okay? Now, last year, it was Chocolate City Oscars, right?
Yes.
Lot of people of color scooped up. And it still came with controversy, just like The Help.
Yes.
Like the movie The Help.
Yep.
Came with a lot of controversy, because even though it's almost like even when you win, it's not a serious win, because there goes the ongoing thing of why is it the only time we win is when we have roles that people don't, one could say degrade. Again, it's part of history. People were the help. Yes. People were slaves. Yes. But we are more than just the help and the slaves.
Yes.
Think about this. Of course, now we're talking about, I can't think of it, about the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yes.
Okay? A lot of people didn't think...
Red Tails.
A lot of people didn't think that was a good movie. Not that the content wasn't valuable, but that the script wasn't as good, and that a lot of people didn't like Terrence Howard in it. Now, that's debatable. So, which one is it? Is it that the scripts are good and it's only good when it's about the help and the slaves?
Right.
Or are the scripts not that good?
Right. I feel like when it comes to being black in Hollywood, you're always going to be discriminated against. We could always go and try to get those great roles, and then sometimes we do get in them, but we may not get the recognition that we truly feel that we're going to get. We will probably always, unfortunately, get our Oscars for when we're playing a demeaning role, so to speak. The first person that ever got an Oscar was one of the maids who played in what was the movie? I Don't Know How to Birth No Babies.
I know.
Right, so she...
That was not the name of the movie.
No, but that was her winning role.
Was it Hattie Mae?
I can't remember her name, but yeah,
you know who we're talking about.
Right, so
then it took like 80 years or
another person to come about. And the reason why they got the award wasn't because of this magnificent portrayal of a great person, but it was for individuals that were not so great.
Okay, but here's a toss-up. Okay, I'll give you one perspective as an actor. I know this just by my own journey, and a lot of times you get into roles because you fit what they're looking for. And sometimes, even as the actor, you may have not been the first pick. There's so many variables that come to being an actor, and it's always funny. I'm always fascinated when I see these not movies, but when I see interviews, and then you find out that this actor turned down the role, or this actor who, now that we can never see them playing anything but that role, find out that they were like the third choice because someone dropped out and all that other stuff.
Right.
So, you know, it's very difficult even as an actor to even get a role.
That is true.
Because they're looking for someone specific. Here's an example. I went to a seminar and they were talking about, you know, there's no rhyme or reason how you get a role, specifically. Now, obviously, if they're looking for you,
right.
they want you. Then they ask specifically for you.
Right.
But there was a case where an actress and an actor got the role cast for a commercial. The one actor, the actor, for whatever reason, I think there was a conflict in his schedule, could not do the commercial. Well, the girl lost the job. The actress lost the job because when they replaced the actor, they didn't like how the actor and the actress aesthetically looked together.
Okay.
So then she lost the job. Okay? So when you have those kind of quirky, the powers that be, most actors are not going to start boycotting or saying, I'm not going to do a role.
Right.
Because you don't know what can get you the role.
Right.
Until you get to that place where you can start demanding.
Right.
But my thing is this. Jada and Will are A-list actors. They could be they don't even have to boycott the actors, the Oscars. They could be doing so much stuff behind the scenes, which to me would be far more powerful.
Right.
Far more powerful. They have a production company,
yes.
as Janice says. Why aren't you scouting? If you feel that you should invest back into R, what have you been doing? Other than doing movies that suit you and your kids.
Right.
Okay,
Which
so
is
are
fine.
you? Which is fine. It's not bad. If I had a production company,
right?
I wouldn't be.
You can't get angry though when you have that production company and you're not doing what you're saying the Oscars are not doing.
I mean, why aren't you getting a studio and having the backings of other A-list black stars? If you feel that that's what you need to do,
right.
And there's plenty of people that are doing it.
Yes.
Plenty of people that have money. I mean, Halle Berry. And again, what I was saying in what I was saying in one of the comments on YouTube was that a lot of actors, because the pickings of roles are so slim, are now, you can't just be a working actor. You have to be, a playwright. You have to write your own. You have to write your own roles.
Right.
And even for women, you want to think being a black actor in general, be a black actress. There's hardly any roles. So you have a lot of people that are writing things for themselves,
right.
And then put your own money. Have you noticed George Clooney, Tom Cruise? They're executive producers of their own stuff.
Yes.
So what is the problem here?
Even the comedian Kevin Hart, he invests his own money into his creations.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. There was so many different ways that she could have came about and protested, so to speak, that her husband or black people in general are not getting the type of awards that she feels that they deserve. But to come out in this avenue, she's not going to be taken serious. So now, even if she comes back with something else, it's going to be taken with a grain of salt.
Well, see, that's what I was also saying in my video last night. You've essentially, I don't want to say waged a war, but you've kind of you've drawn a line in the sand. So, when you say boycott, I mean, how do you ever get invited back to the Oscars?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, how do you get back into the fray? Because unless you're willing to walk away, I mean, you essentially have said you've walked away.
And then that
don't you think
that would have spoke more volumes if you had just left. You know what I mean? And quietly try to get it done instead of coming and seeing like you're so bitter and angry. Now you're gonna have a temper tantrum before the cameras. Well, you guys are not doing this, but this has been going on for years and years and years and years.
Listen,
why now when your husband is not the one that got the Oscar and wasn't given what you felt that he should have gotten for a role that
I think about some of these Oscars that sweep. I think of some of these movies that sweep the Oscars and we've never heard them before. Mm-hmm. And these little independent films and these little foreign films, and they get all of these awards. Yes. Why couldn't you have a film that hits the independent circuit and then the 6,000 members that can vote see it and then be like, bam, guess what? That was my stuff.
Right. Exactly.
You know, don't you think that would be more powerful?
Yep.
I mean, the reason why Tyler Perry got to be on the map is because after he was kind of doing the little kind of chicken circuit type of thing, hitting, you know, he had a following, and that's why he blew up.
Yes.
He blew up. He didn't blow up. He'd been working because nobody considered him of value. So he gained a following. And he was hitting the churches and the little theater circuits. Right. And then all of a sudden people were like, who's Tyler Perry? Well, a lot of people knew who Tyler Perry was before he became Tyler Perry.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm okay, so we got about less than 5 minutes. So I wanted to talk about Janet. Whew. Now I'll let you say what you had to say.
Well, you know what? I agree with a lot of what she said. I agree.
Do you like the message or what we're gonna do? What about the message and the messenger? I think we need to separate it because Janet,
because of her background and her history with Will Smith. Of course, everyone's going to feel like she is a tad bit bitter. That she is a tad bit. You know, it's all about Will. I remember when I asked you to help and you didn't want to help
when he was 21 years old.
Exactly. But what she's stating, what she's saying, the message that there's so much other stuff going on in the world right now. There's so much violence. There's so much, you know, mega stuff that's going on. And you choose to talk about boycotting events that, you know what I mean? It's really not going to make a change.
That's her industry. I mean,
I understand that. And I understand that as well. But it's just, I understand with Janet, and I kind of like agree with that message that sometimes, you know, hey, you got to think of what you're saying, what you're fighting for, and
pick your battles.
And right now, I just don't think with the climate that's out there, with everything that's going on, that's, you know, Black Lives Matter, and that the message that Jada is putting out is not going to get any type of traction. And I think that what Janet is saying, you know, and she did speak on, people are going to think that she's bitter and that she's angry, but she's not. She's saying that there's so much more, She has so much, people have so much more stuff to worry about.
I think we're going to do a part 3.
Am I done? I'm sorry, I'm on there?
No, I think we're going to do a part 3 because we got like less than 2 minutes.
But that was just my opinion. I agree with the message. And and just take the message and just leave the messenger out of it.
Okay.
Because I agree with that. So
okay, we're gonna stop at we're at 13 minutes. No, you're good. No, we're gonna do a part 3. We're not quite done. So we're gonna do part 3, and then we're gonna be done. Oh my gosh, you got like 2 bonus videos from me for Jumpstart January. I love you guys that much. All right, see you at part 3.